This is something that's not spoken about near enough in the health and fitness industry. And this is something even now I struggle with. And it's something that's been a fundamental part of helping me not only lose over 35 kg, but also to maintain it. But more importantly, it's helped me not only improve my physical health, but also my mental health as well. And that one thing is sleep. Now, I know you're going to say it's boring, it's not sexy, and I know it's not the most glamorous topic. And it's something for years and years I had no idea how beneficial it is. When we think of sleep, what do we think of? We go to bed at 11 o'clock, then we get up on our phones, bang, bang, bang. Then when it comes to sleep, what's the first thing that comes to mind? We're on the sofa, we're after watching a TV show for the past 2 hours, hobble into bed, on our phone and TikTok, go to sleep maybe 11, half 11, wake up then around 6, 7 o'clock, straight away on our phone, scrolling. And then during the day, we're maybe tired or we're feeling down or we're not motivated or our energy is low. But the fact of the matter is, you could have the best diet in the world. You could have the best training plan in the world. But if you're not building the foundation, which is sleep, trying to adhere to any kind of a plan, and trying to adhere to any sort of a plan is going to be like pissing into the wind, excuse my French. Because I've been there before where my sleep was always at the back list. And even now with my current clients, one of the biggest things I'll always say is sleep. If you've got a busy week, maybe you're busy with kids or you're busy with work or you're busy with personal issues and you can't maybe go to the gym or you can't do exercise and maybe you're away and you can't control your food choices. But if you can control the foundations, control sleep, that's going to be so beneficial for you in the long run. But we're in an age now where the basics is being overlooked and sleep is that fundamental. Imagine you're trying to build a house. You know, you're going to build the foundations, you're going to build a house, live in a house. But if you try to build a house on a piece of land with no foundations, what's going to happen? House going to get crooked, it's going to fall over, then you're going to have to redo it over and over again. But if you focus on a good foundation first, solid foundation, then you build your house. Then you have a house for life. So think of your health and fitness, think of your physical health, think of your mental health just like this. When you have a good foundation every single day, it's going to make it so much easier because you're going to have more energy, your mood's going to be up, you're not going to be as cranky, you're not going to be as tired. And the funny thing about this is, when we are sleep deprived, you're actually going to be hungry more because sleep is the main driver for your hunger levels, leptin and ghrelin. And you'll have noticed this before when you've had a late night or you've gone to bed at this time or you've binged a TV show. You wake up the next day and you're absolutely ravenous. Like you just want to eat all the carbs, all the cookies, all the sweets. This is because your hunger hormones are out of sync. And I'm not going to go into too much detail about the scientific terms. I want to make this as simple and as basic as possible. You know, having watched my mum for years and years and years struggle with her own health and fitness journey before she passed away, I know if I was to give her complicated terms about X, Y, Z and this and that, it would have gone straight through her. But if I can keep this as simple as possible and explain it in a way that she could have understood when she struggled, but also myself, it's going to make a huge difference. Because we've all these people online with these fancy terms and fancy words and even for me, I'm a qualified personal trainer and nutritionist, but some of these stuff online, it goes through me. So, and I think we're in a world now where everything has gone so complicated. We just want to break it down. So by focusing on your sleep, that's going to be the biggest thing that's going to help you start your health and fitness journey. Don't worry about the fancy meal plan. Don't worry about the gym membership. Don't worry about doing 100 sit-ups, whatever that may be. Let's just focus on the sleep. If we can focus on sleep and have that as a number one priority to start with, then we can build our foundations. When we have a good sleep routine, then we can start looking at, okay, what are our goals? Let's start looking at our nutrition, let's start training. And then we're building this house as an overall picture, not just trying to go balls deep and do everything at once. Because one of the biggest issues in the health and fitness industry is the amount of people who fall off track. They have all these great intentions of starting, they get overwhelmed with everything at once. 6 weeks in, 10 weeks in, they've gone back to old ways. But if we can focus on the principles, focus on the habits that's going to serve you better to help you with your food and training, that's going to be the most important thing. Because I remember being in New Zealand trying to lose weight, but my sleep was all over the place. I had a coach at the time and he gave me the calories and he gave me a plan and he gave me this and he gave me that, but he never once mentioned sleep. And then he couldn't understand why I wasn't sticking to my targets or why I was so hungry the next day, because I was going to bed at 12 o'clock after watching a full series of Killinascully, which is an Irish show if you don't know. Waking up then at 5:30, going to work on my phone. It was just a vicious cycle. But it's when I started to focus on my sleep and started focusing on going to bed at a certain time, waking up at a certain time, it's when I just felt my best. I'm not going to go too in depth about sleep timings and sleep patterns and sleep cycles. I just want you to focus on the basics. Focus on a simple bedtime, focus on a simple wake up time. So the easiest way I want you to break this down is if you wake up at, let's say, 6 a.m. every single day, I want you to reverse engineer. What I mean by that is waking up isn't the most important thing. It's actually going to bed. So rather than setting yourself an alarm to wake up, you need to set yourself an alarm to go to bed, because your bedtime is going to be the most important thing. Think of a baby. You put a baby to bed at a certain bedtime. You don't worry about what time he wakes up, you focus on what time he goes to bed at. And we're the exact same. Let's say if you wake up at 6 a.m. on most days, reverse engineer. Let's say if you were to look at 70 hours before that, that's going to be your bedtime. So pick a bedtime. If you're going to go to bed at 10 o'clock, make sure you go to bed at 10 o'clock every single night. Or if you're going to go at 11, go at 11. Now I know that sometimes you're going to be busy with work, you might have meetings, you might have to work late. But on average, set yourself a bedtime. So when you know that you're going to bed at 10 o'clock you're in bed at, let's reverse engineer it. Let's look at the hour before you go to bed, because again, that's going to be so important. If you're going to be on your phone like this from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, or you're going to be watching TV from 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you're then going to try to go to bed and you're going to be absolutely wired. So that hour before bed, how can you rewind? Can you dim the lights in your house? Can you light candles? Can you get some blue blocker glass to block out the blue light coming from your devices? Can you turn off the TV for 45 minutes before you go to bed? Can you read a book? Can you journal? Can you meditate? We want to make sure that we're getting to bed and having our brain relaxed. Because when we're watching TV, when we're scrolling on social media, when we're doing all this stuff, our brain is going at a million miles an hour. But we want our brain to be a bit more calmer and a bit more relaxed. So that might mean if you go to bed 10 o'clock, the 45 minutes before you go to bed or the hour, how can you make it less hectic? Like I said before, turn off devices. When you wake up first thing in the morning, have your phone out of the room. One thing I like doing is, could you have a watch like this where it vibrates? Could you have your phone in the opposite room? Could you maybe get an alarm for your room? One of the biggest things that's helped me is having devices out of the room, because when we have devices in the room, it's detrimental. So try put your devices away if you possibly can, and have your room a place where you go there to sleep, you go there to maybe read a book, you go there to maybe journal, you go there to cuddle your partner. Whatever that may be, we want to try and make it a place where our brain gets to rewind down. Because again, I used to be a devil for being on my phone flat out when I was going to bed, and it just made me want to crave more food, and then trying to stick to anything was just impossible. Again, this video is not too complicated. I'm not going to go too in depth on sleep cycles. I am going to leave that for another video, but for now we just want you to understand that your sleep, your bedtimes, what you do before you go to bed, what you do first thing in the morning when you wake up, they're going to be the most important aspects for you to start. Because there's no point trying to start tracking calories or trying to have a gym membership or trying to go to the gym or have a coach if we're not focusing on the foundations first. And this is the first protocol I start with any of my clients who come on board my program, is we look at the foundations and we build from there. Because if someone comes on my program and I give them all of these things to do, they're going to get overwhelmed. But if we can focus on the foundations and then build it just like a house, what's going to happen? You're going to get results, but you're going to be able to sustain them results for the long term, because now you're building a lifestyle, just like you're building a house that's going to last you a lifetime. You don't build a house to just live in it for 6 months and then knock it down again. You build a house to live in it for the rest of your life, starting with the foundations. So think of your health and fitness just like that. Let's look at building the foundations, starting with sleep, block by block, so you can have the body, you can have the mind that's going to have you waking up every single day feeling more energetic, more motivated, and just building that lifestyle that's going to have you becoming a better version of yourself every single day. And like I said before, these are the small things that's not spoken about enough in the health and fitness industry. It's too complicated. We have all these fancy terms coming left, right, and center. We have the other spectrum. We have the other half then who are just saying, eat less food and move more. But no one is talking about the simple stuff. No one is trying to explain it in simple terms, because these are the stuff that I struggled with for years and years. And if someone had came to me and broke it down as simple as possible, it would have saved me a lot of hassle over the years. So make sure you hit that subscribe button for more little videos like this. Adios.